An active shooter situation that turned into a barricaded suspect with a hostage has now come to an end. A man is in custody while a woman who was a hostage has been rushed to the hospital. It was a tense standoff between a shooter and a SWAT team, all of it happening right in the middle of a large apartment complex this morning. Thanks so much for joining us today at noon. I'm Mark Salinger. That scene was right near the First Bank Center in Broomfield. Police gave a lot of details late this morning about what happened, and we have team coverage for you this afternoon. Ria Jha is on scene along with Jeremy, and we start with Jeremy. Jeremy, there was a lot of gunfire as people who live there were told to stay inside.
Yeah, that's right, Mark. We are actually standing exactly where all of this unfolded this morning. The suspect was shooting from his apartment there, that building right there. You can see the SWAT units, and on the second floor is the suspect's unit where he was firing his gun. Behind that tree, you can't see it, but are his windows, and you can see bullet holes in his windows. All of this unfolding about 6:30 this morning. Into a barricaded situation with the suspect holding a woman as a hostage. The standoff between police and the suspect lasted about 3.5 hours. Reverse 911 calls and text messages went out to numerous people here. People could hear gunfire. Police say the man seemed to be firing his gun not only at police but indiscriminately outside from his unit. A crisis team then came out and tried talking with the man. Eventually, talking did not work out. The SWAT team then deployed flashbangs and stormed the man's apartment after breaking down his door. They took him into custody. Inside was a woman who was described as a hostage, and at this point it is unknown what relationship she may have had with the suspect.
He was aiming for our officers as well. That is why we called this an active shooter. I got a lot of questions from the media initially. Is this a barricaded hostage situation or is this an active shooter? And initially it was both. I mean, we had somebody who was actively firing at our officers, other units, so a lot of people were in danger.
Again, the shooter has been taken into custody and has been taken to the hospital. The woman described as a hostage is also in the hospital. Her injuries are unknown at this point. But this morning, this happening in a very large, dense apartment complex here, affecting a lot of people as they were headed out to work. They had to shelter in place. For more on that, let's go live to my colleague, Ria Jha.
Yeah, Jeremy, as you kind of just showed us, this whole few apartment buildings are taped off. A lot of people here are just waiting to get back inside. They don't know when they're going to get back inside, so they're kind of just waiting from officials to hear for that green light. Before this crime scene was taped off, we were able to get closer to the scene. Take a look at this video. We have video of 5 or 6 bullet holes that are going through the glass of that apartment where it happened at. Neighbors say they woke up to 20 to 30 shots going off. We spoke with a woman who lives across the parking lot from the apartment where it happened. She showed us a bullet that went through her bedroom window while she was walking her dog.
I could see straight into the guy's apartment. Thank you. And I was walking my dog and a lady came up to me and she was like, "Hey, do you know what's going on?" And that's when a gunshot flew over my head into my bedroom window. I ducked and I've never screamed that loud in my life.
Yeah, again, this is a very scary situation to wake up to right in the morning, as Jeremy said, as people are commuting. So people still don't know when they're going to be allowed to get back in. We're hoping to hear from officials about that. Reporting live in Ria Jha, 9 News.
Ria in Broomfield along with Jeremy there as we continue to learn more information on what exactly happened. Guys, thank you. An update for you this morning after safety concerns with Lake County schools. The district is keeping all schools closed for the rest of the weekend, and the Lake County Sheriff's Office has high presence around the schools. The Sheriff's Office says they talked with a person of interest yesterday regarding potential threats made to the schools. That person was later released. Although the schools remain closed today, the Sheriff's Office says the threat has not been proven. A Mountain View Town Council member is accused of shooting a 17-year-old boy in the face. The victim told the Jefferson County Sheriff's deputies that he and his friend went to a home on Pleasant Park Road near Conifer just around 4 yesterday afternoon to ask if they could take homecoming pictures on the property. They say they hopped a gate and went looking for the homeowner. They didn't find anyone, so they turned back to the car. As they were waiting to try and speak to the homeowner, writing a note to ask permission, they say Brent Metz pulled up next to them and fired a gunshot through the windshield, hitting one of the teens. Deputies say the weapon was found inside Metz's truck.
There's nothing that we know of yet that made sense for him to step out of his car, point a gun at these two juveniles and fire a weapon.
Metz now faces several charges, including assault and felony menacing. We've been talking a lot about that California wildfire smoke filling our air, and the sun this morning looked like at least some of it has already made its way to Colorado. We also have fire danger right in our state today as well. I want to bring in 9 News Weather Impact Chief Meteorologist Kathy Sabin, because Kathy, while they're dealing with all that fire out in California, it's all making its way here, at least the smoke.
It absolutely is. And looking off to the west along the foothills, we're starting to see some of that smoke and haze move on the southwest winds off the mountains and foothills, about to descend into Denver. We have critical fire weather scenario playing out today. Already 87 degrees in Denver, 92 in Lamar. We're looking for temperatures in record territory, low to mid 90s. And look at the wind. Look how it's picking up out of the south and southwest from 25 to 30 miles per hour, with gusts even higher, 40 and 45 miles per hour over some of the higher passes. Critical fire weather today, red flag warning out through 8 o'clock tonight. Denver, eastern Colorado, the Northwest Plateau. And oh yeah, the smoke plume Mark mentioned. Southern California wildfire smoke transferred into Colorado on the southwest flow. The more vivid the color, the denser the smoke, the worse the air quality. It's going to settle in this afternoon, tonight, and much of the day tomorrow. So those in sensitive groups, stay indoors. How long is that smoke plume going to stick around? I'll talk about that and the impact of this latest weather change coming up.
Kathy, thank you. The trial against the accused Boulder teen super shooter continues this week. Investigators revealed they found a rifle, 2 handguns, and chemicals that could be used to make bombs at his home following the shooting. During testimony this morning, an FBI agent who photographed the shooter's apartment as it was searched showed jurors some of the evidence that they found inside. That included a rifle, 2 handguns, a scope, multiple magazines, and hundreds of rounds of ammunition. There was also packaging for a scope used in the shooting. The agent read its capabilities from the packaging.
It's water resistant, it's shockproof, lightweight, unlimited eye relief, parallax corrected, quick target acquisition, precision accuracy, protective hood, quick release mount, and digital switch illuminator.
Investigators also found bottles of 2 chemicals that can be used in bomb-making materials in the shooter's closet. Today is the 6th day of testimony in the trial that's expected to last several weeks. In connection to the Alexander Mountain fire that destroyed more than 24 homes, is now accused of starting the fire and impersonating a first responder. The Larimer County Sheriff's Office arrested 49-year-old Jason Hobby for starting the fire in a campfire ring, which then went on to burn 9,600 acres in the mountain area west of Loveland. According to the Sheriff's Office, he owns what looks like a modified wildland fire truck. During the fire, they say he bypassed road closures and pretended to be a first responder defending ranch property. He's also accused of pointing a gun at 2 people. Another wolf reintroduced to Colorado has died. Colorado Parks and Wildlife say they found the body of the wolf after getting a signal from the GPS collar that it was wearing that it wasn't moving anymore. The wolf was one of the 10 wolves that were reintroduced into Grand County in December of last year. There's no word from CPW on how the wolf may have died or if there were any suspicious circumstances surrounding the death. They also won't share where that wolf died at this time. This wolf was not a part of the pack of wolves that wildlife officials trapped over the last couple of weeks. That pack had been attacking cattle and had become a nuisance for ranchers in the area.